So can you tell me your name and a bit about your background?
I'm Navi Pillay. I was born in South Africa under apartheid. My parents were born there as well. I was made the first black woman judge by President Nelson Mandela, and thereafter elected by the United Nations General Assembly to serve on the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, and therefore after I was elected to the International Criminal Court and then High Commissioner for Human Rights, where I served for 6 years and recently retired.
What were your responsibilities, or what type of work were you involved
It's
in?
a very unique mandate created by the United Nations. It said my mandate was to promote and protect the human rights all over the world, and that means all rights of all people without discrimination. And so I would spread the language of equality and non-discrimination. That was a mandate. We covered the world. So together with the staff of 1,000 people, we have offices in 58 countries, and we spread awareness about human rights. But not only that, we actively assisted governments as well as NGOs to do much more to advance human rights.
In your bio, it said that you helped co-found a nonprofit called Equality Now. What type of work does this nonprofit do?
First, I co-founded an advice desk for against the abuse of women in South Africa, and later, in the 1980s, late 1980s, Jessica Newworth, a Harvard lawyer in New York, and I co-founded Equality Now, which is an international women's organization taking action for women's rights, and they have almost 2,000 member NGOs all over the world, and they've highlighted issues such as female genital mutilation in some countries, discrimination in national laws against women. In other words, where discrimination is institutionalized in the law. They've helped to have some of these laws and policies changed, and they're still very active.
What led you into engaging in human rights activity, getting involved in human rights?
Well, like every other child growing up under apartheid, you suffered because you were discriminated against and treated as second class. So you became aware of injustice, you felt it was wrong, and you saw that your parents were not allowed to speak out about these things. So when you grow up with that experience, you want to do something about this. Of course, the first thing you have to do is get educated.
And final question, do you feel like nonprofits, much like yours, Equality Now, is making a difference? And if so, how?
The non-profit organizations make a difference because they are directly in contact with ordinary people, and they give a voice to the voices of the silence that most people all over the world are forced to maintain because there's repercussions against them. So NGOs, both international and local voices, encourage and speak out for people. Victims really appreciate that somebody cares about their problems.